I am really hoping that I didn't forget anything in this favorites video. On the off but still highly probable chance that I did forget something, I will be sure to include it in the description box down below for you guys. But what's up? How are you? Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing my 2018 favorites. I really tried to force myself to pick the staples, the things that I was consistently using, the things that I really loved, thought were a little bit more innovative and just travel friendly, just the real core staples of my makeup routine throughout the year. So it's still a lot, but I really kept it down to the things that I thought were core pieces for me this year. So before we get into it, guys, please make sure that you subscribe so you can stay updated whenever I upload future videos. And then I'd also love it if you guys would come follow me on Instagram as well, because you guys can always find me on Instagram whenever I'm not on my channel, and that's where I'm, you know, that's where I am when I'm not here on my channel. So let's just get into it. So let's get started off with base products and primers. So the first thing that I really wanted to mention was my Revlon Color Stay Prep and Protect Primer. I think this is the best primer that Revlon has ever come out with. It's also got a built-in SPF 34. It's very light, very fluid. It's quite watery, so it just glides over the skin really beautifully. I think my favorite thing also is just this really nice little package. So it's super travel friendly, handbag friendly, and it's just an added bonus that it has a built-in SPF 34. So it's great. Doesn't interfere with whatever makeup you put on top of it. Plays really nice with anything that I've used it with. So that was a huge thing for me. And then kind of in the realm of like a more traditional primer, I really loved the Wet n Wild Dewy Primer. This one has a built-in illuminator. It is quite strong. It's a really highly strobed look. But I love the way this sets down on the skin. It sets down to a slightly tacky, but it almost makes your skin feel more firm the way it sets on the skin. So I just feel like this really prepped my base and gave me a great kind of clean canvas feeling for makeup to go on top of it. So I loved this. The one con though is because it is so strongly strobed. I feel like I couldn't use it on days where I had any type of raised texture or dry patches, just because the strobe in this would really emphasize those. So on days where I wanted to wear minimal makeup or I had texture issues or dry patches going on, hands down, one of my favorites was the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. This is so beautiful. It's so light. It really gives you just a very natural angelic glow to the skin. It's never too shimmery, too glittery, and it really visibly like plumps your skin up. It's beautiful product, but I really just like the soft focusedness of it. The other really great thing about Wonder Glow is that it has a lot of added skincare benefits. So I liked that about it, and it's just easy to wear alone or underneath makeup or mix it in with makeup. Just a really great multi-use product. And my last one you guys probably are not going to be surprised by. It's the Bobbi Brown Extra Illuminating Balm. This is something that I'm constantly repurchasing. I'm going through these regularly because I like to use these almost every single day. It is a really thick, hydrating balm. So if you're more on the oily side, you could use this in place of moisturizer. I just feel like it covers all the bases. It really moisturizes your skin. It's nice and thick, so it keeps your skin hydrated all day. It's got a built-in illuminator, so it preps and primes the skin and just gives you a nice natural glow. It just does everything. So the Bobbi Brown Extra is my favorite. They have a couple different shades of it as well, but I just like the original Extra the best. I feel like it just really makes your skin look nice before you go in with makeup. Tinted moisturizers and foundations. So for myself personally, on a daily basis, I hands down will 9 times out of 10 go with a tinted moisturizer. I just like how lightweight and natural they look, and I can use my fingers to apply them, which is a game changer. It just makes everything so much easier. My favorite this year was definitely the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. I wear the shade Tawny. This one is so beautiful. You get anywhere from light to medium coverage without it ever looking cakey or too heavy on the skin. And I also did try the Illuminating Tinted Moisturizer this year and fell in love. This one is in Golden Radiance. I tend to like the Illuminating one a little bit more during the summertime because this one has a little bit less coverage, I feel, but the illuminator just makes your skin look so glowy and you just always look like you're dripping in candlelight. So Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, so beautiful. I just love how I can apply it with my hands, and it has that great buildable coverage. Another really great tinted moisturizer that I really stuck with was the Maybelline Dream BB. I went through like 2 or 3 of these. This is a fresh bottle of this. In this, I wear the shade medium and medium deep. Nice and light. It's not super buildable. You're not gonna get anything too crazy out of this, but I just like how it puts like a nice light tint on the skin. Again, can apply it with my fingertips, and it's just a lot less to worry about than having to touch up foundation throughout the day. But for foundations, I mean, I don't even know. This was just such a great foundation. I was constantly using it. It's my favorite to travel with. It's the MAC Face and Body. It comes in this nice little tiny bottle. And again, the biggest thing I love about this foundation is that I can apply it with my fingertips. It's just so ideal. It always looks so nice and light on the skin. I feel like this foundation truly has the ability to melt with your skin and just give you the most natural looking coverage while still being super buildable and just keeping your skin looking natural, never looking cakey. Now, when I wanted truly flawless coverage and really wanted to hide problem areas on the skin, it was definitely gonna be the Clinique Beyond Perfecting foundation. I wear the shade Golden Neutral. In the MAC Face and Body, I wear C6. So Golden Neutral in this shade has this really nice doe foot applicator, so I felt like I could just really stripe it all over the skin wherever I needed it. And it sets down to a powder finish, like a light satin powder finish, but the coverage on this is absolutely exceptional. It builds on top of itself beautifully. And even when I was wearing this super full coverage to hide whatever I was trying to hide, I never felt like it looked too makeup-y. It always still looked like skin and just stays put all day again. So big fan of this one as well. Hands down, without a doubt, my favorite concealer of the year was the Jouer Essential High Coverage Concealer. I got so many of my friends turned on to this concealer as well. Everyone's obsessing over it that I know, who I let them try it. It's just so great, and you can use it so many different ways. I use it to prime my eyes often. It stays put all day. I feel like I don't really have to powder this. And if I just use a little bit, I still get amazing coverage. So you can use a little bit and get a really nice, sheer, still natural looking coverage, or you can really build it up to get that like super flawless, like beamed up effect on the eyes. It's great for hiding pimples, hyperpigmentation. I put it on dry patches if they're a little bit pink and it doesn't cling to the dry patches or make them look extra crusty or anything. This was just such a game-changing concealer for me this year. Can't rave about it enough. Powders. I hate powder so much that this was the easiest category for me to tell you guys my favorite powders, because I'm so picky when it comes to powder because of my skin type that there's so many boxes that I need checked off for a powder that most of them don't work for me. So the one that I cannot recommend to you guys enough that I use almost every single day is the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Powder. This is beautiful. If you have dry skin, I think you will adore this powder because it creates such a soft, pearlescent, ethereal glow on the skin. It never makes your skin look chalky. It has the ability to mattify your skin without taking away the life from your skin because it just puts down the most beautiful soft luminescence as well. So I feel like I'm not losing any qualities of the skin that I love when I use this powder. It will make your makeup stay longer, and it's so beautiful. I can't recommend this enough. And then for days where I really needed my makeup to last from like morning till night, or I felt like I needed a little bit more coverage on the skin, the Maybelline Fit Me. I use the shade 240, can't recommend this enough. This is a pressed powder. It is so finely milled. The 240 shade has a really nice strong yellow undertone to it, so I feel like it would just like brighten up my skin, mattify it slightly, but again, because of the ever so slightly pearlescence that this powder has to it, I never felt chalky, I never felt too matte, my skin never felt too dry. It's a very, very beautiful powder. A little bit goes a long way. I like using like a nice fluffy brush with this, but so great, especially in the summertime when I tend to get a little bit more oily. This is my go-to. Blushes. Okay, so my favorite blushes of 2018 were really rich brown tones that had a lot of warmth to them. I feel like if you have a skin tone similar to mine, you'll love that type of blush because it goes with whatever eye or lip color, and it just really complements an olive skin tone so beautifully. So my two favorites, starting off with the Nudies All Over Nude Sticks, All Over Face Color, sorry. This one's in Deep Maple A, and it is a beautiful deep, rich, warm maple brown, so gorgeous. I love how I could just tap my fingers straight on the bullet, tap it onto the cheeks, eyes, lips. You get a nice monochromatic moment going, and it's just the perfect blush color for me. Don't have to think about it, just like a great no-brainer color. My other favorite was the Charlotte Tilbury Chic to Chic Swish and Pop Blusher in the Climax. And I really liked how this one has the two tones. You guys can see you get that really nice bronze on the outer rim, and it has a really soft pink pearlescence to it, so you still get like a little bit of juiciness and warmth, and then the core is kind of that muted coral shade. So absolutely love this. I tend to concentrate on the bronze shade just because I really love it, but so pretty and just, again, like just easy, don't really have to think about it. So bronzers and contours. This year I wasn't so much into contouring as I have been previous years. I was into more of a slightly defined look, but more so just kind of defining the features with a little bit of bronzer while also still warming up the skin. So my favorite contour that I would use just to kind of chisel out my cheeks and maybe add a little bit of definition to my nose was Benefit Hoola. It's a great mid-toned, pretty neutral brown. You guys can see I use this a lot. I love to contour with this. It works for me with whatever skin tone that I'm at. So it's just a good contour powder for me. Now in terms of actually warming up the skin, you guys aren't gonna be surprised. My favorite was the NARS Sun Washed Bronzer in Casino. I love the formulation of this bronzer. I think it just can give you such a gorgeous airbrushed effect to the skin. They blend out beautifully. I really can't say enough good things about this bronzer. I love the shade, and I actually like this better than the original Casino. I used to always use the original NARS Casino, but this one has just completely taken the place of that one because I love this one so much, and I really like the new NARS packaging. I just think it's a little bit more sleek. The other one was the BECCA Ipanema Sun Bronzer, which mine unfortunately broke, but I've still been using the broken niblets because this is my favorite deep shade of bronzer. It has a really nice, strong, caramelly red undertone to it. It's got a nice pearlescence to it, so it reflects back light. Always looks really natural, but it's just my favorite deep bronzer because it's so dark, but it still looks natural and it never looks muddy or cakey, and I think it can just bring such a gorgeous warmth to the skin. So I loved that. The other one I wanted to talk to you guys about is actually a palette. I really love the bronzer in it. It's the NARS Atomic Blonde palette. This is my second palette of this because my first one I dropped on a tile bathroom floor in a hotel in New York, and I immediately went to Sephora and purchased another one of this palette because this bronzer in it is the shade Unleashed. So gorgeous. Again, like a really nice deep bronze, strong red undertones. It's got that pearlescence to it, so it reflects back light, still manages to look natural. The bronzer is what I wanted to tell you about, but the palette itself was also a 2018 favorite. I'm gonna mention it again in the eyeshadow section, but just so you know. Okay, highlight wise, I was such a big fan of the Bobbi Brown Shimmer Bricks. I love how these are a really nice, natural, soft highlight. They're not too intense. I kind of strayed away from more intense highlights, especially just because this year my eczema was kind of crazy and I tend to get it right here. That's where you highlight. So I didn't want anything that was going to emphasize an eczema flare up if I was wearing makeup on top of it. My favorite was the bronze one because I can just lightly dust it all over the face and I feel like it just gives my skin so much life and luminescence, and I was just absolutely obsessed. My other favorite, which was a cream, was the little BECCA Poured Highlights. This one's in Moonstone, but I also like Opal Poured. Just the BECCA Poured highlights in general. I just like how they're a much more soft focus highlight to where you get the glow, but it's nothing distracting. And I just love a good cream because you can just tap your finger in and just lightly apply it to the skin. Setting sprays. Okay, so my favorite setting spray of the year was the Lancome Fix It and Forget It setting spray. I use this so much and it never manages to go down. And I think the reason for that is because the spray nozzle on this makes the most of such a tiny product because it just evenly disperses the most ultra fine mist onto the skin that it doesn't use up so much liquid for each spray. You know what I mean? Like, it just evenly caresses the skin and you just get the best little micro droplets. There's never any of those big drops that kind of create holes or patches in the makeup, and it makes your makeup last so much longer. I can't live without the setting spray. It is my favorite setting spray that I've tried. And my favorite finishing spray to kind of add life and dew and just that gorgeous ethereal glow to the skin was the Touch of Dewy Luminous Till Death Do Us Part with this. I love this, can't live without it. I don't know what to say about it. I just love it so much. It makes your skin look exceptionally dewy, exceptionally glowy, just makes you look like an angel. I love the Touch of Dewy Luminous Skin Mist. Nothing compares. It's my baby. Eyeshadows. Okay, so I was really having a huge cream eyeshadow moment this year. I just like how I can apply it with my fingers. They look really natural, just kind of like a sheer wash of color. My favorite, hands down, was the Chanel Cream Shadow in the shade Memory. It is this gorgeous coffee bronze, so shimmery, so beautiful. It's what I'm wearing on my eyelids today. And I really like this one because it's more of a dry powder, so it's never wet. Like, it's very creamy and rich, but it never creases or feels too wet or muddy on the fingers when you're applying it. 9 times out of 10, this was the eyeshadow that I was wearing on my eyes. I love it so much. And my other favorite was the Revlon Color Stay Cream Shadow in 710, which is much more of a taupey bronze shade. And when I hold them side by side, you guys will see the Revlon one is much more taupe and the Chanel one is much more of like a rich bronze shade. And in terms of eyeshadow palettes, so my favorite eyeshadow palette that I traveled with multiple times and was always on my vanity was the Urban Decay Born to Run palette, because you get everything you need in this palette. Good mix of mattes, good mix of shimmers, you get deep shades, you get really great defining brown shades, and then you get like a nice bone highlight, and then you also have these like fun colors that you can mix in as well. And just, you know, it's like a great, unique, well-rounded palette. I thought it was perfect for traveling, and I never felt without shades when I was using this palette. I feel like it really helps you create a full look with different textures and definitions of shades. And my other favorite, which I already mentioned, it was the NARS Atomic Blonde palette. I just feel like this is everything that you would want in a palette. You get a great bronzer, a great highlight, you get great bronze shades, and then you also get this amazing glittery copper shade. So those were hands down favorite eyeshadow palettes this year, and they never left me feeling like I wanted more. I never felt like, oh, I need to grab another shadow from a different palette. Like, these 2 palettes, I was really able to create whatever I wanted to create with them. So these were hands down my staple of the entire year. It was the LA Girl Ultimate Eyeliner Pencils. My 2 shades were Lasting Brown and then Deepest Brown. These eyeliners are so amazing. They stay put in the tight line, the waterline. You can use them on the lash line to really smudge them out. Great defining eyeliners, amazing staying power. I don't know how I could have gone without these before, because these are the best eyeliners I've ever used. I love these eyeliners. So my favorite mascara this year were 2 different ones. First was the Maybelline Lash Stiletto. I love the brush, I love the formula. This is a really easy to use brush. It's nice and thin. It's those great thick bristles, so you can really nestle it into the lashes and really coat each lash individually. And then my other favorite was the Dior Show Mascara, which has the bigger than life brush and just creates the most beautiful, fluttery, wispy eyelashes ever. Both of these are in the waterproof formulation, and I love these just any day of the week. They look good on the top lashes and the bottom lashes. These mascaras really do it all in my eyes. All right, guys, so we made it to the lip section. I'm gonna start off with lip pencils. So my favorite lip pencil this year was MAC Whirl. Got this little itty bitty baby one. I always have a MAC Whirl that looks like this because I always use them up to this point, and then I have my backup ready to go when this one doesn't work anymore. It's just the most beautiful, dusty, deep rose shade that complements any lip color, and you can really kind of cheat the size of your lips when you're using this one. My other favorite for more of a brownie nude look was the NYX lip pencil in Nude Truffle. This is actually the lip pencil that I'm wearing today. I just think it's like a perfect defining lip pencil. It has a little bit more of a cooler undertone, so it never looks too pink or too peachy on the skin, and That was my other one. And then my last one was the Urban Decay Liar Pencil. Now, the thing that I love about these Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencils is that they last forever. This is my go-to when I'm going out or I just want my lip liner to stay on for as long as possible. The shade Liar is, again, like kind of like a nice dusty rosy mauve, and just so perfect for every day. So this one is amazing and highly, highly recommend it just for its staying power alone. I really was into a glossier lip moment this year. You guys know that. One of my favorite glosses, it's the gloss that I'm wearing right now, Caramel Glaze from M Cosmetics. This was one of my favorites, especially during the summertime. It's just like a nice nude, kind of more cooler toned than I would say a lot of my other lip colors are. It's just a nice, cool toned brown, and it's kind of what I wish a liquid lipstick was like, because you get so much coverage and it's still glossy, but it doesn't dry out your lips, but it's a very full coverage gloss. The other one that I really loved was from Maybelline, the Plumper Please Shaping Lip Duo. I loved the gloss from the shade Tease Tea. This is such a beautiful, creamy, beigey nude. My other favorites were the YSL Rouge Volupte Shine Lips. I love these because they're sheer, they're glossy, you can apply them without a mirror, and they just make your lips look so juicy and wet and perfect. And they make your lips look bigger because they just make your lips look so glass-like shiny. So my favorite shades were 44 and 47. Just gorgeous YSL packaging. What more could you want? They're so beautiful. And the product inside is equally as amazing as the packaging. Now, my two favorite lip launches of 2018 were new lip products. So the first one was the Marc Jacobs Gloss Sticks. They made gloss sticks of some of their most popular lipsticks. These are essentially just really shiny, glossy lip balms that have a tint to them, so you get coverage and color, and they're just so beautiful. And like, I'll put some of this one on. I just love them so much. One of these was hands down always in my bag. This one is in the shade Sugar Sugar, and I love the way they feel on the lips. I like how you get a nice glossy finish. Beautiful, marvelous. Would highly recommend checking out the Marc Jacobs Gloss Sticks. And then my other favorite lip launch of the year was the Lancome L'Absolu Lacquers. This one is in the shade 204. This was such an amazing product for me this year. I loved these during the summertime, especially because I could put them on in the morning, go out with my friends, and I never really felt like I had to touch up my lips that often. It's like a gloss gel hybrid, lipstick hybrid. It's hydrating. It stays on the lips for so long. You get a sheer wash of color with one application, but you can really layer it on to create more coverage and more color and kind of choose the impact that you want. I was just so impressed by the staying power, and it never dries out your lips. They look so beautiful, juicy, wet, but it would like stay put. It wouldn't move around on the lips like a gloss would. So it's kind of like a latex gel gloss balm hybrid. I don't know. They're amazing. Definitely check them out. If I didn't mention it, my favorite shade was 204. And the Lancome L'Absolu Lacquer was my last favorite that I wanted to mention for my 2018 favorites. I want to know what your guys' favorites were this year. Is there anything that you tried this year based on my recommendations that you fell in love with? And also, judging by the products that I mentioned in this video, I want to know if you have any recommendations for me to try out for 2019. You guys know me. I love bronze, glowy, dewy, easy, smudgy, cream products. You know what I like. So definitely leave me some recommendations. And I always want to check out the stuff that you guys recommend. So if you guys have any questions regarding any of the products in today's video, then leave them down below. Leave a comment just to say hi, because I love talking to you guys. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye, guys.